Hello one and all, and welcome back to more Let's Play Persona 3 FES. This time we're in the answer. I am the Max Few Trades. In the last part, things have torn down considerably among this group of friends we've come to be accustomed with. As it so turns out, that going through this little adventure has given them the ability to make a choice between going back to the present, where they were before all this began, or going back into the past. And there's been a bit of a rift that's formed between those who would like to just move on and those who very much find it difficult to do so. And now it is my basic understanding that we are basically now going to have to fight the other members of the team. And I'm very much not okay with that. There are so many different things I could potentially say about this situation and how personally uncomfortable it makes me. As somebody who has had to go through a lot of various arguments between close individuals in very recent times, I might actually just throw out there. This whole thing has been kind of hitting me in a way that I wasn't really prepared for. And I'm not too happy about how things are going to have to go. I actually have a lot of things I want to say going forward here, but we need to talk to everybody first, and once we get all situated, I can give you the full scoop. Regardless, let's talk to everybody and see what they all have to say on the subject. It's true that it's been really lonely since he's been gone, but that's no reason to go back and change the past. I think we should let his actions stand as they are and worry more about getting out of this alive. I guess, San, you're teaming up with Metis-san, right? Well, Akihiko-san seems to feel the same way as me, so I'm planning on fighting alongside him. That is one of the major components here. Basically, what I believe we are going to be going up against here is, in fact, a couple different battles instead of one big one. Basically, I think we're going to be fighting people in groups of twos. I got Metis, which I can only just this moment really truly realize, had I not taken her with me earlier, would have put her at an extraordinarily low level. So, dodged a bullet there. And if I had to guess, that would mean that we're going to be fighting Ken and Akihiko, Yukari and Mitsuru, and as they're the only two left, I guess Junpei and Koromaru. None of this is something I would like to do, but the game seems to not be giving me much of a choice. It's true that if we could do things over again, he might not have to die. I can't blame anyone for grabbing onto that hope. But who would be changing things for? Him or us? His death was no accident. He knew what he was doing. That's why I can't let anyone undo the past. Understandable. Junpei, what are your thoughts on all of this? As, quite honestly, I feel like you got a good head on your shoulders about this. Taking the keys by force so she can open the door to whatever she wants? Is that seriously her plan? You'd never go along with something like that. Even if our time's running out, we can't move on if no one's gonna back down. I mean, this is a one-time deal. If you don't like the way things are going, what else are you gonna do? So we're gonna collect all the keys until everyone just calms down. Woof woof. He is studying Junpei closely. It seems he's going to help Junpei, which, yeah, there you go. I have spoken to these characters, but just for the record, so I've had time to analyze and think. What should I do, Aigis? I've always relied on you because I agree with what you said. But if I take your side, the others will be my enemies. What am I supposed to do? Yeah, you're in an extraordinarily unfavorable position. I don't actually know how you equate in any of this. As I said before, I will stand with Yukari. Does that seem odd to you? No, honestly, it very much doesn't. It makes the most sense out of pretty much anything else here. I agree with Yukari on some points. Furthermore, no matter what, we'll have to face you and Metis. I won't concede, so there's no need to hold back. And Yukari, who is definitely hurting the most out of everybody here right now. I never want to feel that way again. When we fought Nyx, I couldn't move. All I could do was see his back. I'm not gonna let that be my last memory of him. I'm gonna take my chances, and I won't let anyone get in my way. Oh, Lord. I can't judge or criticize how somebody ends up coping with horrible situations. I just really wish that this whole thing wasn't about to happen. There's no sense in faltering now. Everyone else has made up their minds. Don't worry, I'll protect you no matter what. Once we leave here, I'll have everyone go separate ways. You won't see the other teams until it's time for battle. Are you ready? I do believe that I am. As much as I don't want to be, if I'm being honest. Then follow me.
This place.
Isn't it neat?
Where is everyone else?
They're fine. They've gone their separate ways and they're waiting in different areas.
Because apparently the Abyss of Time just has a coliseum available.
You see the big door up ahead?
Indeed I do.
There's an arena past that door. You'll be fighting them there. Your only goal is to collect the keys, so there's no need to take their lives as well.
Well, see, that's really good because you literally could not make me do that.
But this is a real battle, and there will be consequences if they lose.
Okay, but I don't like the implications of that.
Sister, are you listening?
If I had to guess, the answer would be yes, but it's still not fun to hear.
Is there no way to avoid this?
Not as long as you have a key and they're after it.
But you promised me at the start that you wouldn't hurt my friends.
I haven't forgotten, but this involves your life. I'll protect you, no matter what happens. I'll protect my sister. This is actually where I awakened.
Which is kind of confusing, but I'll get into why later.
I wondered why this place existed. But now, I feel like this is what I was meant to do all along. I can't explain why.
Okay. And with that, basically, what I can only assume, we go through there, we gotta start fighting people. Now it's time for me to make the tiniest of confessions. At the end of the last part, I wanted to train a bit. So I ended up going down the stairs, which triggered this cutscene into happening. So, off screen, I did in fact talk to the party members and saw this and only this scene. Everything after this, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. But first and foremost, I found it interesting that she said she awakened here because last I checked, this door was not here before. So I'm not sure how she got out, per se. So that's certainly a thing. Ah, right. Another thing that I definitely saw, there's one last thing, sorry. It's not a super duper major thing or anything, but in the interest of making sure everybody sees everything that's possible, gotta very quickly talk to Elizabeth. Welcome to the Velvet Room. You seem quite upset. It's written in your face. I assume that your ordeal is not yet at an end, am I right? If so, then the best thing for you would be to face your frustration. Only by mastering yourself can you move forward without regrets. This is what you must do to find the answer to life that waits for you. It is the only way to reach the end that is in store. And that is basically all that there is to say. Alright, so, as it might have sounded, I did indeed do some training. Because, and I realize it might be hard to believe when you look at literally a very large supply of the people that have known me over the years and the many jokes that I often make about myself at my own expense, but despite it all, I assure you, I am in fact not an idiot. So, I'll just quickly jump over to a parallel timeline, or rather, the main timeline. You could consider this a bit of a flashback, as it were. And with that awkward jump, you will now notice that I am a fair bit stronger now. As it so happens, Metis is of the exact same ilk, in that she is just as much powerful as I. We have pretty much the best abilities. She's got all of the abilities she has. I've gotten stronger just in general. Got new personas. Got the best equipment that I could possibly get for them. You might be wondering, why am I being so adamant about preparing? Well, here's the facts. As I said, I'm not stupid. After the fast few fights went down, it became all too clear to me that I was not strong enough to really be able to do that. And it took multiple attempts and a lot of dumb luck in order to manage to make this happen. Just to even get through those, like, last 3 or 4 boss fights. It, frankly, was silly. I should have just trained up and got better personas and abilities, but I didn't, and I brute forced my way through it. That being said, as I did not think I was going to be able to do so again. Because here's the thing. If you think for even a fraction of a moment that those guys, our teammates, are going to be exactly as strong as we expect them to be, I'm going to have to just straight up start laughing. I fully anticipate those characters to be absurdly powerful. I expect them to have abilities that they ordinarily would not have, in that they never had them when I was working with them. That seems exactly like the type of thing this game would do, and I was gonna be prepared for that. So basically, I thought to myself, alright, so, knowing what I know about all of the characters, what can I possibly do to maybe make myself have a better chance? First and foremost, just being Aigis and Metis alone is a bit of a handicap, because I have to rely on Aigis being the primary healer, because Metis just flat out does not have any ability to do much in that regard. She's strong, but she can't heal. So that immediately means that I'm going to have to spend turns healing myself whenever I can. So that's a bit of an issue. Then I had to look into just about pretty much every single character that we've met and could team up with up to this point, and consider their strengths, weaknesses, and everything else that there is to know. This started with me going into the Velvet Room and looking up new personas that I could possibly get. In my endeavors, I found Thor, who happened to be immune to strike, electricity, and is admittedly weak to wind, but when I saw Thor, I started thinking about the characters I was going up against. And if indeed I am correct, and it's possible that I'm going to be fighting a combination of Akihiko and Ken, I felt like being immune to electricity and striking attacks would be a very advantageous thing for me to do. So obviously I decided to get him, and I also thought, okay, well, I might as well train him up too, get some other skills, who knows what he's gonna have in there. Fun fact, it's been a long time since I'd actually gotten an explanation as to what those little heart icons that sometimes show up on personas are, but as it turns out, maxing them out, as it were, and not like getting them to level 99, but just, I guess, learning all the abilities they're capable of learning when they have that little heart icon means that they're gonna give you an item when they reach that point. So, just through curiosity's sake, I didn't know this at the time. I was just making Thor stronger for the sake of having a stronger persona for a perceived fight. So, when I got there, and it gave me an item, well, needless to say, I was somewhat surprised. Fun fact, the item that he gave me was something called, I believe it's called Lightning Gloves. And I thought, oh, well, that seems to be a weapon for Akihiko. That's cool and all, but that doesn't really seem all that helpful to me right now. So I kind of ignored it, but eventually, as I was continuing my training, I thought I would actually take a gander at just what they specifically were. As it turns out, and as you might have noticed, they are in fact not listed here. So I was just trying to figure out, well, what on earth would the lightning gloves even be at that point? Well, as it turns out, they were an accessory. And not just any old accessories. What do you think the lightning gloves would really be able to give you, ultimately? Maybe increased damage for electric attacks, or resistance, or hell, maybe if considering it's a really cool item, I don't know, maybe it gives your physical attacks an electric property to utilize against weaknesses or something. The answer to that is all no, 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 no. In fact, what it gives you is apparently whoever equips it becomes flat out immune to electric type damage. I believe you realize just the implications what this could possibly be used for. So, it kinda got me thinking. At the end of the day, what was Thor? An ultimate persona. And for whatever reason, Aigis is able to get ultimate personas despite not having social links. I can only assume it's because she inherited the power from the main character, and I guess that means she got the accumulative social link prowess from him? That's my only guess. It could just be game mechanics, but that's my in-story belief. Anyway, point is, I thought, well, if I were to get more of these ultimate personas that you could ordinarily only get through social links, maximizings, and whatnot, would they also give me new items? And the answer to that question was yes. So, I managed to go ahead and grab myself a couple more super ultra amazing personas. I experimented and tried to find as many as I possibly could with what I was able to get. That involved getting Cert here, who, on top of everything else, is just a pretty damn good persona, all things considered. Got Ragnarok, which is a tier of fire damage above high damage. It's severe damage, which is pretty great. And obviously, as you also might guess, maxing him out to the best of his abilities got me an item that nullifies fire damage. I was also able to get Thanatos. You might recognize him. Yeah. And I got him specifically because I figured if anybody was gonna give me something that could possibly nullify dark damage, it was gonna be him. Lo and behold, it ended up being just so. So, by the end of everything, I now have 3 items that will be able to completely nullify electricity, darkness, and fire. I wasn't able to do anything for ice or wind, or even light, which is a bummer, but I'm going to go ahead and hope that this will ultimately be enough. I did so because, well, under the impression that I was going to be going up against Akihiko and Ken, obviously, being able to be immune to electricity is going to be a huge boon. They both have access to it. The fact that Thor also provides strike resistance or nullification is an even bigger bonus, because I know that's how Akihiko goes. It's not going to do literally anything about Ken's abilities over light magic and healing, but, I mean, I gotta take whatever advantages I can get, and I felt like that was a pretty good one. And assuming I'm also going to be going up against the combined might of Junpei and Koromaru, well, that's basically a whole lot of fire and a whole lot of darkness. And obviously, darkness is instant kill. I don't want to mess with that noise. So, essentially, I decided to use that sort of stuff too. And ultimately, I happen to have one more thing. I call him my killer app, my ultimate ability. That would be this horrifying monstrosity called Abaddon. You might recall him from earlier in the Let's Play, when I didn't really have much use for him, ultimately, whereas I think nowadays, he is exactly what I need to be able to make this whole thing work out. Because this Mother Hubbard happens to be completely and totally immune to fire and darkness, and, on top of everything else, is flat out immune, thanks to abilities, to slash, pierce, and strike. So, if all else fails, I can equip this dude, and with the exception of, I guess, apparently going up against Mitsuru and her ice powers, and technically Ken and his light powers, I'm almost essentially completely immortal. So, it's not a foolproof plan, but it's a pretty good one. At least, that's what I'm thinking. The only real main problem with all of this preparation, however, is I actually do not in fact know who I'm going up against first. I assume because of the absurd prevalence of Yukari and how much all of this really matters to her, that she and Mitsu are likely going to be the last ones I go up against. But then that leaves the question as to who I'm going to end up going up against first. And quite frankly, I simply don't know the answer to that, so I'm kind of just gunning it with a 50-50 chance. The fact of the reason why I'm so, worried about that is I can only equip Metis with something, before a fight. And I don't know if I'm going to be given an opportunity to be able to do that before the fight begins. As far as I know, I go through the door, and it all just starts going down. So, I'm using some logic and some 50-50 luck, and I'm just kinda hoping we're going up against Akihiko and Ken first, seeing as how, well, they were the ones in the cutscene, so kinda stands to reason. So, with that, I have Thor equipped, so I am flat out immune to a lot of the things that they are able to do. And I'm also going to be giving... but if you don't fight with all your strength, you'll never be able to beat your next opponents. You of all people must know that. Yes, I am very darkly aware of. If anything else, I personally feel like this says a lot about my personal feelings towards these characters, in the sense that I respect them to the level that I do not anticipate this being simple or easy. I honestly hope I have overprepared, because I want to give them that benefit of the doubt. I want to imagine having to fight these characters would be an almost insurmountable task. So I am giving myself every conceivable advantage imaginable in order to make it work. That being said, there we go. I don't know what exactly they're gonna have in store for me. Maybe I prepared too much and it was all completely pointless. But it's what I did. I feel comfortable having done so. And if I'm going to be forced to go up against all of these characters against my will, then I'm going to assume they're going to give it their all, and I just want to give them the fight that I feel they deserve. I suppose that's a good way of surmising it. Alright. Now, watch and be astounded as I end up going up against Junpei and Koromaru first, and have my electrical resistances be entirely pointless. Alright, well, I hate that I have to do this, but I don't have a choice. Open the door and enter? I believe I have to. Rest assured, I am most un-okay with having to fight my party members.
This...
Oh! Yeah, this looks like the place from the cutscene, yeah.
This is where you awakened?
Well, I was under the impression she awakened on the other side in that, like, field of flowers or whatever. If she woke up in here, that's significantly more ominous. Alright, called it! Woo! Okay. Woo! Not happy about the having to fight part, but I am happy about having guessed correctly. Well, it's not so much a guess, it's educated.
I gotta admit, this is a pretty appropriate place to settle stuff like this.
Does have the right ambience.
I was hoping to go up against Mitsuru's team first, but oh well.
I guess, Akihiko-senpai.
Yeah, I was about to once again ask, how exactly do you factor?
Fuka-san.
Do you object to her acting as the mediator and backing up both sides?
I mean, it would be only fair, I suppose.
No, you can't make a decision like that without me.
You don't want to make all sides equal? Do you want to abstain entirely? I suppose that's an option too.
Helping both sides, encouraging my friends to fight each other? I won't do such a thing.
Understandable. Alright, then we just go and don't really need analysis anyway, so that's okay, I suppose.
But with your ability...
There's no need to worry about us when we're about to go at it. If you can't choose, side with Aigis. Her life could be at risk, right? So it's only fair that she gets a handicap with you.
I'm mildly thankful and somewhat only remotely kind of insulted by that notion.
Akihiko-senpai.
Let's get this over with.
Alright then.
Aigis-san, have you decided what you'll do if you get all the keys?
I mean, I know what I personally would do, but I have no idea what Aigis is going through in her head right now.
I can't fight against...
Yeah.
Sorry, but if you haven't made up your mind by now, I can't let you have our keys.
Oh, of all the songs to be playing, really?
We'll see whose will is stronger.
Cool, making this as much of an emotional gut punch as you physically possibly can. Cool!
If you don't take this seriously, you'll be hurt.
Oh, delightful.
This won't satisfy anyone.
Okay, so, first things first, I need to verify something. If this goes poorly, then it goes poorly, but I need to know. I know for a fact that Akihiko is weak to ice. Is the game, in fact, going to make this a thing that's even possible? I have simply got to know. Can I knock him over? I did not think so. Alright. That being said, well, then I guess I can analyze. Then I guess I can just have it fully verified. Should I just expect the characters to not have weaknesses, despite the fact that that makes absolutely no sense?
Give me a sec. I'll scan the target.
Alright, well, notably, and what I can only assume strategically, is that Ken is going to probably be the bigger threat. As it stands, I'm just about immune to anything Akihiko can do, and Ken is the one who has instant kill light abilities and can also still hit me with a spear, and he can also heal. It seems like the right course of action. So, I'm really sorry about this, but I have no other choice. Although, admittedly, whoa, alright, I'm not immune currently. Yeah, no, you're just not weak to what you're normally weak to. And level 77. Alright, so, if nothing else, the fact that I was like at level 72 before I started training, yeah, no, coming into here without any preparations whatsoever would have been stupid. Good to know, good to know. Alright, that's miraculously rather lucky. Okay, okay. Well, with the powers gained by this, I suppose I can just kind of focus on physical attacks. Premonition? Since when could you do that? Alright, so yeah, that... Unless I just completely omitted that from my knowledge, which is possible. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge on all of the passive abilities the characters have available to them, because they gain them on their own, and they don't let you actually inspect any of the things and give you descriptions for any of the abilities, so... I suppose it's possible he did always have that, but... Clearly never when I had him. I guess maybe I never did level him up all the way. That's fair, but still.
You're strong.
Thank you. I try super hard.
I won't hold back.
Yeah, going for Metis would make the most sense. Also, having that would also make sense. Fair. Fair enough. Okay. Well, I'm not weak to it. I just will take damage from it. Fair enough. Going to have to politely ask you to not.
All right. It's time to get serious.
I would expect no less.
I won't hold back.
Alright, fair enough. Alright, I think I might have actually done something rather smart. If nothing else, I forced them to waste 2 of their turns getting rid of our immunity to electricity.
You won't escape.
So I consider that to be a pretty good call on my part. By the way, I think this hammer actually makes it so she has boosted attack at the start, which is pretty swell. Whoop! Okay, we're getting lucky with those. Yet another thing I was unaware that you were capable of doing. Fair enough, Ken. Although I do find it odd that you have not chosen to heal yet.
You won't escape. I won't give up.
I'd be disappointed if you did. Okay, well, I suppose I'd like to take him down before he gets the chance to heal. Ow. Aha, yeah, alright. Oh, and back to being immune. Alright then.
You won't escape. No.
Amazingly enough, I don't feel good about doing that.
Please be careful.
Yeah, I know. You'd think that, you know, who wouldn't want to ceaselessly attack a friend and also coincidentally small child continuously with both a gun and gigantic spiked hammer? Yes, obviously that is something everyone aspires to one day do. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to say that I'm definitely not one of those people. Did not like having to do that. This really legitimately kind of sucks. That being said, I do believe my preparations worked out in the end. There's really not a whole lot Akihiko can really do.
That was nothing.
He can do a couple things, in that he can definitely still wail on Metis, but that's basically all he can do. He can't use his electric attacks, and I think the AI is even aware of that fact, if it was bothering to get rid of, electrical resistances and whatnot. So that's why I think he's pretty much only using his physical attacks and using them on Metis. It severely limits his options. And I mean, that's also a pretty fair strategy too.
Firing.
Me missing would be a problem.
Not bad, but I'm not going down.
Well, not without a fight, I certainly would have never thought. Kind of strange that critical hit rate never really factored into anything. Oh, okay, that's something he can do. Haha, didn't know that one. All right, well. That's my cue to use one of these. Not usually something Thor can do, but man, skill inheritance is a hell of a mechanic, let me tell you. I didn't set out to give Thor expert healing abilities. It just really worked out for me.
I won't hold back.
Yeah, he's pretty... Oh, whoa, all right. He's pretty much locked into doing just kind of one thing. You have power charge and mind charge? That's pretty baller, dude. Not gonna lie, I had no idea. Would have figured he would have just gone with power charge.
Can't let my guard down.
I'm going to assume that these are abilities that they have ordinarily. All right, unfortunately, that's just not gonna work. Yeah. Sorry about that, man.
Firing.
Oh, all right. Haha. In a way, I kind of deserve that.
I'm not through yet. Let's see how much power you really have.
I believe I've made it apparent that it's rather considerable.
Persona!
Firing.
Yeah, all right. Here's the thing. Considering the advantages I've given myself, I have no business or right complaining about literally anything any of these characters can do.
I won't hold back.
Under most normal circumstances, that would have worked.
You won't escape.
Why, though? Okay. All right.
Here.
Currently cannot use strike or electric attacks on Aegis. Aegis cannot be harmed by him.
Are you okay?
The only way I could definitely be defeated would be by shooting him and getting counterattacked. So, and of course, my weapon would happen to sometimes give the status ailment that prevents persona use, keeping me from being able to heal. All right. All right. Bit of a devil of my own making. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I was pretty sure that was strike damage. That would have been bad. Okay, now, just to be safe. Just to be safe. Let's assume that he will counter the next thing that I do. You know, the worst part is, while I feel bad about having to have done that, and I take no pleasure in any of it, that was probably going to be the easiest of the 3 combination fights that I could possibly be going up against, at least on a mental visage. You know? Like, I don't dislike Akihiko or Ken in any considerable any way. I like them. I like them a lot. I don't like having to fight them. But out of all the characters, that one was the least I felt bad about, even though I still felt bad about it. All right. Fitting, although perhaps unnecessary. Oh, boy.
Akihiko-san! Hamada-san!
What in the hell?
What's happening?
Yeah, okay, so maybe you want to explain what the actual hell that is? What?
I told you before. If they lose, there will be consequences.
Okay, yeah, you did say that, but do you think you could have elaborated a little bit more?
They haven't died,
Could have fooled me!
but they won't return to their original forms until the true key is forged.
You know, I feel like maybe, just maybe, we would have been able to conceivably convince a couple other people to not fight if they knew that this was the result of losing.
You can no longer avoid fighting.
Funny that that was kept from us until just this moment.
No. You knew this would happen. Is that why you brought us here? What were you thinking?
It's because this must be my purpose here.
To force us to fight each other? Because that's a pretty terrible purpose.
If the fires burn out, they won't be able to return to normal even if the key is forged.
Of course.
We need to hurry, sister.
Don't call me sister anymore.
All things considered, that's a rather tame response to what everything just happened right now.
Do you hate me now?
You haven't done yourself any favors, but as long as they actually do go back to normal when this is all said and done, then whatever. That's just my personal opinion on the matter. I ain't speaking for Igus.
I'll still fulfill my promise. No matter what, I will protect you, sister.
The battle is finally underway. To revive your defeated friends, you must see the fight through to the end. You decide to return to the lounge. Okay, well, that quells at least one of my fears that it was going to be a back-to-back gauntlet-style thing. I didn't think that was going to be what happened, but I wasn't going to say that it was impossible. Alright then, so Yukari and Mitsuru definitely have to be the last ones. I guess I'll protect you, sister. No matter what. Yeah, I suppose you will. Alright, so the question is, honestly, I can only use one of these things, so I'm left wondering which one of the things I should be using. If I had to guess... Honestly, I think I want to nullify fire on this. Darkness would be an instant kill, but like, if an instant kill happens, I've got a bunch of items that can just stop and prevent that. You know, I can just revive over and over again if need be, whereas fire damage is probably going to be more prevalent. Seeing as how who I'm going up against, I mean, they both use fire magic. It seems like a pretty safe bet. Maybe it's not the right call, but it's the one I'm gonna go for. Yes. Just to ensure, you know, things don't go horribly wrong. Akihiko-senpai, Ken-kun, how could this happen? All because we just had to go through this unbelievably unnecessary gobbledygook. My goodness. Alright, well, that being said, it wouldn't be the first, second, or 47th time that I've been completely caught unawares by certain situations. So, we'll just put that over there, and we'll see what we can do. But first, hang on, before I do, the good news is, having Abaddon means that I am literally immune to anything that either of them will be able to do. The bad news would be the fact that I don't have any ability to heal Metis either. Another reason why I decided to go with the fire immunity than the darkness. I can revive easily, but I can't heal back up easily. So, seemed like the best action I could go with. Alright then. Once more from the top. Because that's all. That is clearly what all and everyone wants and needs. Open the door and enter, as if I had a choice. Because now, apparently, we're on a time crunch. I mean, I could say I called it, but, like, obviously, you know.
Sup?
Hi, Junpei. You know, despite literally any and all possible grievances I may have had with you over the course of this entire game, at no point whatsoever did I ever actually wish to harm you in any way. Whether that be physically or emotionally. You're a complete and utter doofus, but you're not a bad person. And I just flat out don't want to fight a dog. Especially not Koromaru. It's freaking awesome! Fire and darkness wielding magic dog with a knife in its mouth. That's like the coolest damn thing ever. Yeah, I'm not happy either.
Junpei-kun, Koro-chan.
Well, I guess I can see what's going on.
No matter who our opponent is, I won't let them have my sister's... I guess is key.
I know. It's cool. But you know, no matter which way this turns out, I just don't think Aigis can win against Yucatan right now. Sorry. Then again, I don't think Yucatan's got it right either. Even if we go back to before the final battle, we're still squabbling like this. I don't know. Do you really see us being able to pull off a miracle and do things better than he could?
I really can't say that I do. That's my major beef with the idea of going back. I don't know what we could possibly do different.
Me? I think this is something we gotta take care of on our own.
Junpei-kun.
I'm not as much of a hard ass as Akihiko-san, but I don't think we should mess with the past. Still, some things you just can't work out by talking about them.
As much as I desperately wish that you could.
If neither side will give an inch, well, sometimes that's how things are gonna be. Right, little sis?
Junpei-san.
Alrighty then. Let's get it on. You better not throw this fight.
I have done what is quite considered... what could be considered the least amount of throwing a fight I could possibly manage.
Get ready, cause here I come!
Don't we have any choice but to fight?
Alright, well, as is the case, Koromaru is the bigger threat here. With Abaddon, with Abaddon, there's nothing either of them can do. But as it stands, Koromaru is the only one who can do anything, and that would be killing Metis, so makes sense I would go after him first, as much as I really don't want to.
You won't escape.
Oh, cool! He's gonna make sad, hurt dog noises every time I hit him. Yeah, I needed that. Thanks, game. Because I totally chose to have to do this. Well, that was about 50 times worse. Alright, so, so far I've made the right call. I do not like that move. I really don't. Koromaru still seems healthy. Yeah, thanks for giving me the play-by-play about how much I'm injuring him. That is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for that. Ah, fair enough. Good call. Good call. That's proper strategy and planning. I respect it. Yeah, Koromaru always was the one to end up dodging things more often than not. Okay. Yep. All right. I can definitely go at least another turn without having to heal. Koromaru is getting tired. Ideally, I'd like to not have to change, because that leaves me open to a bunch of other stuff. Junpei is very dedicated into this stopping us from using personas thing. Alright, well, fair enough. He definitely got what he came here for.
You can't use your persona right now.
Yeah, I'm very aware. Sorry, Koro. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't need to read that. Why would you say that? Limited options begets very specific results. Alright, was expecting that at least once. Okay, well, they're gonna have to do something about that. I am immune! I am immune! Okay. Sorry, Karo. That wasn't gonna work.
Right now.
Okay. Look, the sooner this goes down, you know, the whole thing stops, the better, in my personal opinion. That's something I didn't know you could do. Alright, well, that's a bit of a issue. Alright, well. Oh, right, even more of a decent reason for why I targeted you first. Oh, Lord. Alright, well. I don't really have much in the way of a choice. Leaving myself open to some things with this, but here's hoping that it doesn't end up mattering in the end, and that a darkness spell doesn't immediately obliterate me. Alright, good choice, good choice. Yeah, not immune to that. Alright, please don't counter it. Alright, now that this game has literally made me beat up a small dog, let's just switch back to this. Sorry, Junpei. There's really not a whole lot of anything you can do. Also, I don't know why Metis has been able to dodge things so consistently. I'm not complaining by any metric, but my goodness.
Pretty tough, Ai-chan, but you're not the only one.
Yeah, everybody's got to learn the hard way that an attack isn't going to work. Good lord, imagine the crestfallenness of that situation. Also, how many characters have the ability to counter? My god. Well, it is high counter. Fair enough. Okay. Thank goodness I happen to be immune to the attacks that I can do, otherwise this counter would be a very serious issue.
I never thought I'd be on the receiving end of your gadgets again.
Again? When have we fought before? Yeah. Right. Gave you the ability to not get hit by that. Thank God. That is still incredibly disconcerting, and I'd rather that stop happening. If nothing else, it causes me to flinch something fierce. Alright, that would be a mild issue. Didn't end up factoring anyway. Alright.
This ain't good. I better go all out.
If I'm being frank, you should have probably done what I had done. And I never want to be frank. But, you should have done what I done and went all out from the start. Granted, I mean, fair enough. As good an idea as anything else. But I'd like this to stop now.
You won't escape.
The sooner it's done, the sooner I can get everybody back to normal. That's all I want here.
Be careful. Metis is badly hurt.
Oh, nuts to it! And yes, by the way, the fact that I took Junpei down with a bullet does fill me with an unbelievable amount of shame and hatred. Couldn't have done that any other way, huh? Yeah, I really don't like that that's a thing.
Junpei-kun. Koro-chan.
All of us. We were searching for the same thing. Our bonds were so strong, and yet
The next battle will be the last one.
Yeah, you don't need to be so, casual about it.
If we win, there will be no one left who can take your key.
I mean, Fuka could. I'm not sure how well it would go for her, but I mean, it's an option.
Is this right?
I sincerely do not feel like it is. I cannot say that it is. No, definitely not.
I can't stand it any longer. This is wrong. I can't accept either meddling with the past or proceeding blindly in the present. It scares me too, to think about dying. But does that justify hurting the ones who are precious to you? If this has to continue, I'm not going to be part of it. I'll end all this by giving my key to Yukari-san and Mitsuru-san.
I mean, that's not... That is an option.
No! You can't do that or you'll...
We don't know for sure whether or not that will happen. And I won't accept your input on this. It's my decision.
Wait! Don't go! I had a premonition. I wasn't hiding who I am. I really don't know anything about myself. About a month ago, I woke up here, all alone. You asked me about when I discovered my emotions, but I don't have any memories. I only knew two things when I woke up. First, that I had a sister somewhere in the world who understood me. And second, a strong premonition that if I didn't do something, that sister would die soon. At first I thought it would happen because of the abyss of time. But that wasn't it. I understand now. The power you've gained comes at the cost of your death.
The cost of my death. The answer to life.
I went to see you so I could save you. But I ended up causing the power to awaken. That's why I made up my mind I'd do anything to protect you. Even if it meant you'd hate me for it. You're all I have in the world.
Metis.
Sheesh.
There was a time when I felt the same way about someone. But I still can't hurt the people who gave me my heart. Even if the end result of this power is death.
I don't want you to die! If you're not gonna give in, you still don't need to throw your life away. If you end up losing your key, I'll give you my life.
Sheesh.
I don't want you to die and leave me behind. I'd rather give my life and be alone. That way, I can always stay with you.
This game just never stops being heavy, does it?
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Please don't leave me behind!
Metis. It's okay. I'm sorry. I won't leave you. I thought I knew all too well the pain of being left behind. You show me so many things that I'd let myself forget. I guess because our bonds are so strong, there's no solution to this where no one gets hurt. There's no easy way out. If I gave up without making a decision, I'd be running away from the pain my friends must still face. I think I was running away from life again. I need to make a choice. I care about him as much as anyone else. Fuka-san, there's something I want you to hear.
Eh?
Huh? You too, Metis.
Deciding what was most precious was a difficult process, but the time has come when you are forced to face the truth and make your choice. You decided to return to the lounge. I understand that that's not the difficult decision that you ultimately made, but the way it's phrased sure makes it seem that way. Also, whoa, where'd you go? There she is. Everyone will turn back after the next battle, right? Then I'm going to make my stand and support you, I guess. The way you chose, I think it's the best one. Conveniently kept from the player. Alright, cool, cool. Sister, it's okay. Thank you. You're right. I understand now how it would feel for someone important to you to die. And yet I tried to eliminate everyone when this started. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Metis is crying. Okay, so... And now, for a multitude of reasons... don't really know. For a multitude of reasons, this next fight is going to be the last. I guess that's as good an idea as any. I don't have a persona that makes me... or items that make me any less susceptible to ice and wind. The best I have is reduced damage, but damage is still damage. So, neither of us are flat out immune to anything, and unless I switch to Abaddon, which I guess is an option, I'm definitely still gonna get messed up by their physical attacks. So this is definitely gonna be an interesting go-about of it. On top of everything else, Yukari is the person I'd like to fight the least out of everybody in the entire cast, so that's a fun little bonus. Woo! This game sure as all heckin' hell does not like to give me even the slightest moment of respite. Alright, well, I'm as good and prepared as I'm probably gonna be, which is to say, sort of, so we'll just give it our best. I've got good healing options, if nothing else. Nothing to do about the emotional turmoil, though. That's just gonna hit pretty hard.
I guess.
Hi, girls.
It's strange. I kind of want to say, long time no see to you guys.
Yukari-chan.
You know, I had a feeling a while back that something like this might happen.
I don't like that that's a thought you had.
There are 4 lit flames. This battle will determine which side gains the true key. Well, have you made your choice?
Apparently. I, the player, don't have any idea what it is, but she seems pretty set on it.
Tell me that you didn't defeat the others without a clear objective.
Yes. I've made my decision. I know what I want to do. There was something crucial that I hadn't known, but my sister revealed it to me. To care about someone dear to you, to strengthen the bonds of friendship, that doesn't necessarily mean that the pain of living will stop. Sister. If something's precious, you don't want to lose it. If someone's dear, it's painful to part with them. Loss can hurt, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I, too, have something important. That's why I'm willing to fight you two now.
As much as I very much do not want to.
I guess.
You sound like you're back to your usual self again. You know, I have to say, you've been a little out of it lately.
The road kind of goes both ways on that statement, if I'm being honest.
It was kind of disappointing, because you were acting all mechanical, like when you first got to the dorm. But now, I'd say you've got more life in you than ever.
Yukari-san.
All the same, I can't give in either. I'm not gonna lose this battle, no matter what.
I honestly believe you'll give it your all. Okay, here we go. Just keep my health topped off and we should be okay.
Ready? 'Cause I'm gonna tear you apart.
I don't like hearing those words from you.
Show me your resolve.
This is the last battle. If we win...
Alright, well, you both technically have healing options available to you. So, I guess I'll just try and put off the one that I don't want to fight the least, you know, off until the very last moment.
You won't escape. That's it.
Of course you can straight up dodge bullets. What else would I expect? And then there's this mild issue. Alright, well. I guess I kind of forgot that that was a thing that you could do. I'm gonna have to ask you to politely not, though, if I'm being honest. That would be just about the worst.
I won't hold back.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting you to. Alright, well, credit where credit is due. Yukari is just straight up fighting. Like, she's giving everything she's got all at the start. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna use my strongest spell possible, and I'm gonna keep using it over and over again. Whereas, that's true, focuses on status ailments. Oh, that was surprisingly more damage than I was prepared for. Oh, that's a big time issue if I'm being entirely honest. Alright, okay. Alright. Questions. What can I give myself that would minimize damage? I can't give myself anything that makes me... if I could... Yeah. Alright. I can't stop damage outright. Oh, wait, no, that's... Piercing doesn't seem to be making too much of a difference. Looks like I don't really have much of an option no matter what. That is a problem. Literally, the only thing I have available to me is the ability to heal myself. I need to be able to do that, and you took it away from me. That's a really good strategy.
You can't use your persona right now.
Yeah, I am painfully aware of that. Whoa. Whoa. All right. A message has been sent this day. My God. Sorry, Yukari. All right, I am gonna need that. Persona ability back.
I knew you wouldn't be an easy opponent.
Gotta give 110% at all times.
Do something to calm yourself down.
Quite frankly, I don't think anything is going to be able to do that. And hello, what is that?
Let's go.
I might be about to die. It's all too fitting that that ended up being a thing that happened to me at least once. Was not prepared for a cutscene after. Hello. I guess. You've won, Yukari. You'll get what you wished for. Are you going to take her key? Eh? The strength of your desire could not match theirs, and the resolution to this incident is out of your hands. Your consciousness is fading. I mean, it makes sense that a custom game over screen would happen, but Jesus. You know, in a way, I'm kind of glad that that went down the way that it did. If I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, if I was going to be taken down by any group, I'm glad it was them of all people. And on top of everything else, it shows that my overpreparedness ultimately wasn't entirely unjustified. That being said, I still don't take too kindly to losing battles. So I'm gonna maybe try and do myself a little bit of a favor and make up for it. Didn't plan for that.
Won't hold back.
Didn't plan for that sort of thing to be happening, but it worked out pretty well. Oh, and I do have Abaddon. I have Abaddon equipped. Whoa, hang on, hey, whoa. I was like, oh yes, Abaddon, that's a good one to have. Wait, no, it is actually not. She could knock me down at any given moment. Thanatos, let's go with you. You're powerful enough for the job, and you give me some resistances to things. Although neither of them being the elements, not sure why I picked you. Not the greatest call in the world. Whatever. All right, immediately busting out that chestnut of awfulness, huh?
I knew you wouldn't be an easy opponent.
Yeah, well, I'm slightly more fueled than I was before. Above all else, I just really would like to stop having to fight my friends. It's pretty much the worst thing. Oh, boy. Oh, that is the last thing you want to have happen in general. All right, then. Didn't want to use stuff like this, but gotta keep her ticking. Gotta keep her going no matter what. Metis is mildly expendable in the sense that I can, obviously get that fixed. Okay, good. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna switch back over to being slightly more resistant to elemental-based assaults as I continue to attempt to make you fall down and go boom. Your staunch dedication.
Impressive, but I'll fight to the bitter end.
Indeed, your staunch dedication to inflicting me with just about every status ailment under the sun in order to make Yukari more easily able to pick us off with her own techniques. I gotta say, I'm nothing if not impressed by the strategy you've implemented. That was a lot of damage. Then again, you used Mind Charge. Fair enough, but still, my goodness. Oh boy, here we go. All right. Yep. But we're getting dodges, we're getting jucks and jives and everything in between. That was still a lot of damage, though.
Metis is badly hurt.
Indeed she is! But it's not like Mitsuru's doing fantastically herself. All right.
Here goes.
Yeah, all right.
Okay? Please be more careful.
Define okay. Honestly, well and truly, define okay. Quite frankly, no. No, I'm not really doing okay. Alright, let's head back to Thor, because Thor's got the best healing spells. As he was always historically known for being able to do, of course.
Here goes.
Alright, well, luckily for us, she hasn't busted out that insta-death move. Which,
What's the matter? Is that all you've got?
I appreciate the tenacity and the willfulness to go towards this sort of thing, despite the, obvious fact that things are obviously not looking too good for you at the moment.
Here goes.
But unless I'm mistaken, and I simply had never... Oh god, that's something I was weak to. I did not consider that. Alright, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Alright, well. We just need her to not hit me with a wind spell once. Like so. Thank you very much. And we will be able to immediately get off of that persona and not go back. Wow, that was a bad idea. Alright, well, Mitsuru's not here for ice moves anymore, so this is the best call.
I barely even feel a thing. Persona!
I seriously take no enjoyment in this. At all. I just want it
You won't escape.
to stop.
Persona!
But anyway, as I kept trying to say, unless I haven't been paying any attention, I don't think that Yukari's had the ability to use that bajillion arrows technique whenever I had her.
I can't lose. I will not lose.
Yes, that definitely makes me feel better about this. Absolutely. Yoy. Alright, come on now. Just stop delaying things! Just make it stop already. By the way, last chance, Metis, just throwing this out here. You better have been completely on the up and up and telling me the truth about them all coming back to normal with absolutely no repercussions whatsoever by the end of this, I swear. I swear that better be the case. And then they came back.
Take mine too, I guess. I agree with you the most, so...
Thanks, Fuka.
This is the true key.
And then they came back.
Everyone!
Oh. Okay. So, yeah, they are okay. Thank God for that.
It may sound strange to hear, but I'm so glad that you're all safe.
Yeah. Circumstances definitely do make that sentence weirder than it normally would be. I'm sorry, Yukari.
So, what are you gonna do with that key? That was a nice speech back there, but you still haven't made a real decision, huh? Then give it to me! Give me that key!
Yukari!
John,
Oh, man. You really gotta make this as hard as it has to be, huh?
It's no use. Only my sister can use the true key now.
Oh.
I wanna see him! I made a promise to him, too. I promised that I'd try my best to change this world so that people would stop wishing for the fall. It wasn't like yours. It was something I promised myself while holding his cold hand.
Oh, no.
That's why I decided to put the past behind me and look forward.
Yukari-san.
But I can't. I can't be that person. I want to see him. I don't care about anything else. I just want to see him again.
Yukari-san.
Yukari, there's no way to truly put the past behind you. In the end, you only succeed in running from it. It's painful to face, but if you don't, your wounds will never heal.
So if I keep facing it, someday everything will be okay.
No.
Eventually I'll forget all about him, or stop caring.
It'll never stop hurting. Every day it just hurts a little less. Not much of a comfort, I know, but it's all there really is to say.
Like that's ever gonna happen. No one knows that better than us.
You're right. But can't we be there for you when things are at their worst? The way you were there for me last year.
Huh?
That may not have been what you meant at the time. But even now, I consider your being at my side last year as one of the most cherished moments of my life. That's why When we lost him without being able to thank him, I swore deep down, if something ever happened to make you suffer, I'd put my own feelings aside and stand with you.
Mitsuru-senpai.
Yukari, to lose someone you had such a strong bond with is agony. But there's no need to suffer alone. You have us with you. Isn't that the whole point of forming such bonds?
Yukari-san, I understand your feelings. Ever since I was born, I have spent all my time thinking about him. So, I suggest we see it, to find out once and for all what he left for us.
Hmm?
We still don't know the real reason behind his death. Without knowing that reason, I can't decide what is right. That's why I would like to see the past again, before using this key. To see the truth of what happened, the moment he used his power.
Huh? Can we really do that?
I was under the impression that that wasn't an option.
I don't see why not. We've already experienced the past here many times.
Because of the doors, but we already saw all the doors.
You mean those doors that lead to the past? But they all disappeared. There aren't any left.
Yeah.
The only way back to the past is the door to his room. And we know we don't want to use the key on that.
No, there's one more door.
Eh?
That's right. The door that leads to Polonium Mall.
How would going through that door get you what you want?
The doors reflect the minds of those who enter them. If our wish is strong enough, we should be able to use that door to look into the past.
I mean, it makes about as much sense as anything else does. It's worth a shot.
I see. Good thinking. How about it, everyone?
Sounds like it's worth a try.
What's wrong?
I was just thinking, there's nothing left for me to do. And I'm sure none of you would want me along. I did some horrible things to you.
Dude, what are you talking about? We all got ourselves into this mess. You don't have to be so hard on yourself.
Don't you remember? I told you that I wouldn't leave you behind.
So, we're all just stuck with each other. And I guess we'll all have to deal with that now, won't we? Aww.
Jeez, if you'd been like that from the start, things would have been a lot smoother.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have had nearly as much conflict, and that would have made the entire proceedings, a bit more too breezy. Gotta get the drama somewhere, you know?
Still, we're pretty lucky there's one door left. It's a real lifesaver, huh?
Now that you mention it, that is strange.
How you figure?
Once a door's purpose has been fulfilled, it disappears. If that door's purpose is to prepare for battle, it should have vanished once the battles were over. Our fight afterward was just bickering between ourselves.
There's only one logical conclusion.
Ghosts?
If that door's role is to allow us to prepare for battle, and it hasn't yet disappeared, doesn't it follow that there's still an enemy left to defeat?
Well, I mean, the odds of the final boss of this mode of the game being Yukari and Mitsuru were kinda low.
Our feelings are the reason for all of this. And what Aigis proposed relates directly to the core of our pain. We should probably expect to encounter something unknown.
As opposed to all of the things we've walked into that we did know about. Like, I feel like almost everything we've gone up against this entire adventure has been something we've not expected or was even remotely known.
Then, what now? Should we find another plan?
If what Mitsuru-senpai says is true, we have to go, right?
Only one door remains. You decide to head for the door leading to the past Palonia Mall. Do I not get any time to prepare?
Let's go.
I guess not. Okay. That's less than ideal. Where?
This... What is this?
A really big extra special door!
Over here before?
Ha-ha! It's not where I thought it was gonna be, and it's smaller than I was prepared for, but it's still everything I thought it would be.
I see the ordeal awaiting us was no mere speculation. We should come back here once we've prepared for battle.
That would be good, thank you.
Fine with me. No matter what the truth is, we'll finally get to see it with our own eyes.
But you were all present for it the first time, so I don't really understand what they're gonna be hoping to get from this. They were there when it all happened. The door that appeared in the Desert of Doors leads to the final ordeal. The answer you've sought for so long wait beyond. You should take all possible measures before confronting it. You decide to return to the lounge. Well, I have a little bit of really good news. Is everyone ready? It all comes down to this. Gotcha. Alright, this is just like back in January when we were up against Nyx. Well, we are going to the moment when it was sealed. We probably really will see Nyx there. And if I gotta fight them again, that's gonna really suck. What kind of ordeal is this going to be? Another huge shadow? Doesn't matter. Whatever comes at us, we're taking it down. Woof. I'll back you up with everything I have. We can deal with whatever's beyond that door. I know it. Well, I guess I'm counting on you. Indeed, indeed. But I have a thing. Hang on. I think it's actually a good thing you beat me, I guess. If I'd won and went to the past upset as I was, I think I might have made some new regrets. I still haven't been able to sort out my feelings, but thanks, Aigis. You're a good person, Yukari. Don't let anybody ever tell you differently. You were just going through some stuff. Alright, well, first things first. Ha 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 ha! Now she has no weaknesses! You love to see it! Now please, I very much need you on my team. You were the first one to join me, and you're gonna be the one to go with me in the last fight. I see no other reason to not do that. Alright, next things next, though. I'm starting to understand a few things. The reason why I don't know anything about myself, and why the sister I just met is so important to me, and who I really am. Well, I'm sure we're gonna get the excruciating details not too long from now. First things first, however, I would actually like to, you know, you can actually hold on to this. I don't know if it's gonna be a factor, but if it is, then it's good to be able to not have it be a problem. Obviously, at this point, you're gonna have to go with me too. And lastly, well, you're the strongest other person in the group. And I mean, it's only fair that I bring somebody who wasn't with me on the last fight in the last mode in the journey. Don't see any other better options. You've really done your best as leader all this time. We allowed ourselves to grow apart, but now we're slowly coming back together. In no small part thanks to you. You have my gratitude. Now, if you don't mind, I'd very much appreciate it if you could hold on to the... Yeah, increased dodge? Nah, how about full-on immunity? There we go. Now nobody on our team has any weaknesses whatsoever. The enemy can't exploit them. No matter what we go up against, that's just not something I'm gonna have to worry about. Fantastic! Alright, well... Lastly, I'm going to just sort of assume that I can, in fact, go back to the mall to prepare myself. Is that possible? It is! Fantastic. All right. Then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna basically do that. I'm gonna sell the stuff I've got. I'm gonna buy any new stuff that I can get. I'm gonna make sure that I'm as prepared as possible. And, well, I guess we'll go through that big honking door and hopefully everybody will get the answer. Haha. That they're looking for. I'll see you all then.
You're the only one world, one love, but the battle goes on, shadows of mass destruction. Ooh, yeah. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Baby, baby. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Ooh, yes. Do-do-do-do.